Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're unpacking a truly fascinating and, honestly, a deeply relatable topic: the psychology behind why so many people absolutely struggle to ask for help. It's this complex mental pattern that so many of us carry around every single day. I mean, if you've ever felt like you literally have to carry the weight of the entire world on your shoulders completely on your own, or, if you have a loved one who does exactly that, you're definitely going to want to pay close attention to the concepts we're laying out today.
So think about it. Have you ever been just completely overwhelmed, practically falling apart on the inside, but the very second someone asks how you're doing, you just slap on a smile and say, "Oh, I'm fine"? We've all been there, right? It is incredibly common. So many people are out there suffering in absolute silence, all while projecting this perfectly calm, totally collected image to the outside world. It's this hidden, invisible struggle, and honestly, it can feel incredibly isolating. I really want to validate that feeling right off the bat because, as we'll see through the material today, this isn't just about someone being stubborn. Not at all. It's actually deeply rooted in human behavior and psychology.
And this brilliantly illustrates the core conflict going on in someone's mind. You see, society kind of constantly praises us for not being a burden, creating this wild illusion that handling your stress entirely alone is what makes you strong. To everyone else looking in, this extreme self-reliance looks like pure strength. It looks like you've just got it all together and absolutely nothing phases you. But the reality underneath that heavy armor? It's starkly different. More often than not, it masks a person who is silently suffering and literally falling apart under all that pressure.
So what does this actually look like in everyday life? Well, if we peel back that very first layer and observe the surface-level behaviors of someone struggling to reach out, we see a really clear, almost rigid pattern. These individuals will completely insist on handling their stress alone. They'll actively avoid asking for help, even when they desperately need it. They keep their worries entirely to themselves, and they will consistently insist that they are perfectly fine, no matter how bad the situation actually gets. Now, these aren't just random little quirks. These are the highly coordinated actions of someone who is downright terrified of reaching out.
So the crucial point is understanding exactly why this happens. We've looked at what's occurring on the surface, but actually, scratch that. This behavior is not just a bad habit or some personality flaw. It is entirely about emotional survival. For a lot of folks, extreme self-reliance is a highly developed psychological defense mechanism. It's a deep mental pattern that's been forged over a lot of time. You see, handling everything alone just feels safe. It feels predictable. Whereas reaching out and actually trusting someone else, that feels inherently dangerous. It's really simply the mind's way of protecting itself from vulnerability or any potential disappointment.
Which brings us to a truly profound truth. Silence often says more than words ever do. When someone stubbornly refuses to open up, they aren't communicating nothing. Not at all. That silence is actually a massive, incredibly loud psychological signal to anyone paying close attention. It basically screams that the defensive barriers they've built up to protect themselves are so thick they can't even risk letting a single word of their actual distress slip out. Their silence isn't an absence of emotion. That silence is their armor.
And all of this leads us directly to the mysterious psychological core of this entire phenomenon. If you are someone who builds these kinds of walls, or if you're trying to better understand someone who does, you have to ask yourself this: what is the final, hidden reason for your silence that you would never, ever admit? I mean, is it a secret fear of rejection? Is it a deep-seated belief that you just aren't worthy of someone else's time and energy? I want you to think really deeply about that as we wrap up this explainer. Because unlocking that hidden, probably uncomfortable truth, well, that is the very first step toward finally letting someone in.